Hey guys, Godzilla here, and welcome back to the next review. This time I'm doing the review of Godzilla films. There's Godzilla 1954 film. This is next of this TCU. Before I get into a review, let me explain my backstory of my love for Godzilla. I've been a I first watched Godzilla. I've been a fan of Godzilla since in 5 years old. My dad introduced Godzilla to me, and the first film I watched was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 74 and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla 2000. And time went on, I watched more Godzilla films until today. Well, the rest is history right there. You get the rest. And since then, he's been my number one favorite character. To the point that I have been acting like Godzilla all my life. Like, I was in school, I just walk around like this, do. You know, I'm supposed to be, I know, yeah, my young son doesn't know better. And he's still my number one favorite character. There are other characters, are there other characters that might come close to Godzilla? Yeah. Like, Gamera is up there, my boy Togra is up there for more of the monsters. And there are even, human characters come close to him as well, like good Rambo, couple of characters from the 80s and 90s action film, like Jazz, the guy from Die Hard, I mean Hard Target, Die Hard, yeah, Die Hard as well, character as well, and some other characters like Baby Stalking is out there as well on the list. And Godzilla, he's at the number one spot, man. I've been playing these. There are a couple of games I've played, like Godzilla Saviors and Godzilla Unleashed, the PS2 version. And that fun game I play, Godzilla Character Battle Royale, it's a fun game as well. So yeah, that's the history, and let's get on with the review. At first, and this is a review of Godzilla 1954. It's also known as Gojira, or Gojira, that's the title. Because back in, Godzilla name wasn't invented until 56. I'll call him whatever in this review. And this is his first film, and the 56 just the Kingdom Monsters. One was the Kingdom Monsters. One was Raymond Burr. He's the guy who played Perry Mason, and he's here as Steve Martin. And no, it's not. I believe his name and it's not. His name after the. No, never. It's not the real Steve Martin. This is a different Steve Martin. If they honest call him Mr. Martin. You know, later film. And, and he's pretty much here to do a court on Godzilla, and not really, just making that. So yeah, the film starts off with of course, the whole logo was a boo, 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 and probably, yeah, it's a thump. The intro is a little bit creepy, and his theme song is awesome. This is the first time you hear the dun 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 theme song. But the American version, the opening's a little different. With the light and names, but with Rainbow showing in the later scenes of the destruction. Him in the hospital with a couple of characters from the Japanese version talking to him. And what is that? So in the Japanese version, is open up was the I'm going yeah, it's the light in the water. The people on boat is playing the song. So light in the water comes up and explodes, destroying the people on the boat. Destroying the people, killing the people on the boat, then getting help. People at the place got the message, but they were too late. And they're talking about that people on, after a while, another boat got exploded by the light in the water. To one of you, I'll combine Japanese and English version together into one, match them up, see the difference as I talk about as I do the review. Most probably talk about Japanese version, a little bit English version in it in the review. So yeah, uh, a couple of survivors that did survive the boat made to the shore. The two scenes I have that one scene that makes the shore and I died right there. And scenes later on they do shows up and it's a brother and the one together and between it and between there's some politics. It's not in their face type of politics. It's background politics, and people are talking about what's going on and what's causing the people about the explode, blow up the boats. Later, that's when the brother shows up and the after a while, this couple places has been flattened, and then they talk about the man's thing about Godzilla, and Godzilla must have done this. Talking about Godzilla and Gojira. Well, American version, better version, some scenes, talking to characters from the Japanese films versions. They talking at this guy with him, and saying my Japanese is a little rusty, and the guy is doing all the translation. Talking about, and they like Godzilla, and I feed the cows to the and they're on there doing the dance thing or something that scare away spirits or whatever, and they're explaining about both versions of the explaining about Godzilla once they been sailing off sacrifices. You got kind of like sacrifices to Colin, but here is when they said they give Godzilla a sacrifice to eat so they can leave them alone, and they on the night. A storm happening. It's like a typhoon, hurricane, raining. As well, Godzilla shows up. You don't see Godzilla right here. You just see the house shaking, and the soundtracks in this film is awesome as well. And Japanese version is more like a horror film, and well, that's more than your typical B 50s monster film. While English version, Kingdom Monster, is more your typical B monster 50s film. The Japanese version is a little bit more serious, more scary. more like a horror film. I think it's a similar way as the Terminator. First Terminator is a horror film as well. I know I'm off track, but it's Bones house getting flattened, and you see a little bit of Godzilla going by as it's destroying the house, and helicopter got destroyed, and these films also use miniatures. Miniatures are the type of practical effects. That type of And Godzilla is portrayed as a man in a suit in this film. Some as a puppet. Originally, it's supposed to be a stop motion, but it take too much time and they portray him in a suit. And the guy in the suit, forget the name, and rest in peace, that guy. Yeah, rest in peace to legends from these films as well. Like Kirito Garada, he's played as a Gata. And the guy is a high batsman named Dr. Serizawa, and Emiko. And they're pretty much in the love triangle. Turns out he's gonna get married, and him one's married to Emiko, and he finds out interest in a guy as well. And then, as well in the meeting, there are a couple of meetings in here. Talk about what's going on, about what's happening at the house. Like something in the storm. It's not just a storm, it's something else. And that's about a couple of people that left. And it's the first time that we hear this sound of the dun 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 dun. This is the first time we hear it before raising the Astro Monster. And off somewhere. And they find some wreckage. They find notice that there's some radiation that Godzilla leave behind radiation. And he's created by nuclear energy, nuclear bombs as well. Like two nuclear bombs from World War II. The boy and Fat Man dropped by Nagasaki, and one of them either like created him or woke him up. And he's pretty much like a part lizard, part dinosaur. Cross between the two. And he's there like when the guy said, "Please stay back." They're saying it's right there in the footprints in the water. One that the guy got the father Emigo, you pick up the something in the water, the termites. Yeah, said, "Don't pick that up with your hands." All right. Now the guy hit the something come. The people had pretty much angry mobs, not really angry mobs. Where they go at the where face Godzilla, whatever, and not realize the how huge the creature is. Something from the Jurassic era. Is it the big reveal of Godzilla on the mountain, roaring at the crowds? And that scenes have been used twice. One for the Japanese crowds, and the other one's for the bird scenes. And the footsteps, there's a footstep in the sound. It makes it more. What's this one? Now, I can imagine like what I know Angry Mobs can do to human-sized monsters like Frankenstein. They can tear them up. But if it comes across a giant monster, that's a whole other story. Because giant monsters flatten people like ants. They can flatten mobs in seconds. So then back to the meeting. Tell Godzilla. And two different versions that has what height is this, and the American Japanese version he's like 15 meters, 164 feet, 65. Well, in the English version, say he's 400 feet tall. The Japanese version is more no, it's more understandable because if 400 feet, he would be bigger than that mountain. Well, he's 400 feet for the Hanna-Barbera. That's still, and they're talking about that, and and there's some like some arguments in the crowd as well. And the one got fight, not really a fight, the apologize. And normally the scientist guy that the one Godzilla died, he wants to study Godzilla, like how he's still alive for millions of years, how he's resistant to radiation. That moment where there's some military stuff where people are in the water shooting stuff at Godzilla. I thought they killed the creature, but later on he survived. But one moment where like with the father went to go to the site blown place in the dark, and we killed the father, but even though there's the light, got the need to be studied. Like, and then there's a we were out at the boat, we were at the boat, had fun, and so and then lo and behold, Godzilla arrived. He survived the day. He just and more stuff about the yeah, they were discussing about on the train. They were discussing about Godzilla. It's Tokyo and stuff. And there's a couple people talking to the Dr. Serizawa. Dr. Serizawa took him to go to the room and said he created this one device. It's called the Oxygen Destroyer. This is one version of it that he so that Emiko what it can do, put in the water, get in the fist, when it's turn the fist and bone, the bone disappeared. Turned to nothing. I wonder if it could work on the city. Can you imagine if Washington's up? Devastating Arkansas story can be if it works on cities. Like killing a lot of people. I know people will use that against each other. That's what I like. And it turns out told Nanasa told everybody, even to Agata. And she kept the promise right there. Well, right there. Went to the place and fire souls up. They're having some drink and we got alarmed, the boom, saying that Godzilla's coming to the city. Now Tokyo or the city before he hits Tokyo. And he was up and soon army starts shooting. The great scene. There's a lot of great moments in this movie. And the shooting mason is pretty much the best part of the practical effects. That's well, it's one great part of practical effects next to stuff seeing uh, I know it's heavy and so hot. One point of shooter did pass out, didn't say anything because it's so hot and so heavy. Because the soldiers up, that's why I start shooting. Nothing stopping them. People back range, gun top of pill. Got the made landfall and destroying some houses. And this he's pretty much giving 1970, 1933 con with good character when for his money, considering he's huge. Also, Godzilla was inspired by King Kong and the Beast from 20,000 Phantom, and And before the beast return from appears in the dinosaur film, I know I'm going off course a little bit. Originally, the beast from 20th Phantom was going to have radioactive fire, not they ran out of money or something, so they cut that out, and the radioactive fire, time breath, goes to Godzilla later on, and business, and later on, back to on topic. Godzilla walked through the city, smashing zombie built. There's a train coming, Godzilla's jump on the train, or swing, and bites through step on buildings. You got to one bridge, pick it up, and on another bridge. And there's a line in the English version saying Godzilla be back. And also in the English version, Burr does narrate throughout the most of the film. And and talk about the setting up the electric towers, electrocute them, electric barriers, and his many theme songs playing while as the tanks becoming evacuate the kids, and later that night, that's when Godzilla shows up at Tokyo, the city of Tokyo. The electric towers are set up. And Godzilla was this. He touched the electrocuted, take down the electric towers, starts shooting. I don't know if you all saw the film, and I like to do my own explaining. And great scene. And he's taking down the towers, people start shooting. Electricity that doesn't affect him. You know, they say that his weakness, I don't see it as his weakness, it's more like it just doesn't really affect him. And Godzilla start attacking Tokyo. Destroying some buildings, shoot fire, it's a time of breath, destroying some buildings. Like this is one of the highlights of the film. The see what Godzilla can do. He is a monster. He's going to killing some people. That's really gonna be. So well, there's a couple parts uh, where he destroy um, there a couple people go and in the English version does re-raise some scenes in the English version or some of the destroy scenes a little bit later. Well, in the English version, and here the knuckle buildings. There's the mom and the three kids saying, "We'll be with our father," and knowing that they're going to die. There's one moment where he goes to take out the uh, clock tower because he hit the snooze button. It's his way to hit that snooze button on the. He ran this one tower thing, and there's one moment where there's a cop. It's right here, the car right here. And that's also so let's go. That's also the time of breath at the cop car and. The English version they had the overtime as the cup explodes, while the English version just and that cup inside that car messes day up. Godzilla continues on his rampage, walked across the bridge, and our podcast is on the rail towers. We got the So this real life and stuff. Get to it's turning pretty much Tokyo is turning into a sea of fire, sea of flame. That's and Rainbow does narrate throughout the post what's that in the English version. Destroying the buildings. And you get to one place of the Capitol building. He did this, and he got to the red tower the podcast at, and got himself killed because he got to not know the tower. The city's pretty much all in flames, and got to the bridge and make turn flip over, made like a boat. Got to the left, plane shows up, shoot missiles at Godzilla. And I like the fact where he missed, even though Godzilla's big, they will be back. And so in this destruction scenes build of the place, and they were getting taken to the hospital to get recovery and treatment therapy and get treatment for radiation and all that stuff. And when we go gets crying because mother's died. And that's when Emiko decides to break promise and tell Ogata about tell Ogata about the Oxygen Destroyer, sells stuff, telling her about what it can do, and turn the fish into nothing. Ogata, let's go there and tell Charizard we need that weapon to kill him, to get rid of him. So they go over there, and as I said, hey, we'd like to use the Oxygen Destroyer. The Oxygen Destroyer, what was he talking about? And it goes, I break your promise. Yeah. And talking about if the Oxygen Destroyer is going wrong, it's using the wrong hand, it's more destructive than a nuclear bomb. And turns out what's away, what's in the room. We got one straight in the room, they power the box, and I was like, I got hurt. The other also emotional scene. This Godzilla film is not like the Godzilla film in the 70s. This is a serious film. I know you all know. I just so if I use it, I must if I use it, then I'm gonna have to burn my notes and stuff because so people can't use that weapon again. There's a scene where the young girls are singing, and that's when I, I'll use weapons. He burned his notes, and Emily got upset. Emily go screaming because he probably know what's be going on, and they're off to find off in the water searching Godzilla and stuff. Oh God, Charizard goes down. Charizard has the oxygen destroyer. Godzilla is sleeping, wakes up, and goes to them. It's like raises Charizard stays down. With the nuclear, which is oxygen destroyer, storing Godzilla, drops it and is released. Godzilla and surfing onto Godzilla, and yeah, that's how it works. And take his knife and farewell. Got this because goes down with his weapon because he knows burning his nose not enough because they will get in his head. So he decided, and it's got and on the boat said, "Boat lined up, Cesar." The line went up. That the rest of the service did his last war before he died. So, to the ground. And that's it for him. And then, okay, so let's be happy now. That's that Charles did. Maya said, and I went there. If we continue to use nuclear weapons, another Godzilla might appear. Let's say pretty much he did. Another Godzilla did appear in the film. This is a great film. I'm also going and I like the Japanese version a little bit more than the English version. Like most of the, I've watched most of the the Japanese version. I like it more, or just tie up with the English version. And Smiley, if you're watching, thank you for that showing me that film. And if you're watching still, that pretty much what happened. So yeah, this film is probably up there like number two, number three of my favorite Godzilla films. Number one, this is GMK. So yeah, that's it for this. See you in my next review. Stay awesome.